Right, hello year 10. Just some notes on our local theorems topic you're doing now. So what you should, and you may have already watched these, which I hope is the case, a series of videos about the circle theorems. In each video, I've gone through a proof of how the circle theorems work. Now, each proof highlighted here could come up as a GCSE question. And even if it doesn't say, prove this theorem, they may ask you to do something outside the circle theorem, which is just like the proofs shown. So hopefully you've watched those, made notes, and that's all really clear. What this video is about is looking at a booklet from Maths Genie, which we'll provide you with, and trying to look at how to answer specific questions on circle theorems. So not only do you have to know the proofs, but you have to use the circle theorems to get answers. So first off, here is a typical circle theorem question that you can see on the screen. It says, find the angle ACD, which is the angle marked up here. Now, to you, you've seen diagrams with two peaks like this before. In fact, if you draw an across from A to D, this would look a lot like the angles here and here at the top at B and C are angles in the same segment, where AD is forward, the segment runs round the top from A to D. So the angle at B and C are angles in the same segment. So the angle ACD, which is the angle A up to C down to D, so it's the angle at C, the middle letter, is 54. The reason being angles in the same segment are equal. Now, in this case, they specified find the angle and give the reason. So that's nice and straightforward. And applying your circle theorems to answer a question like part 1 is remembering the rules. Part 2 is remembering the wording for the rules. So on the videos previously, it's making sure you have memorized all the titles that I gave you. Okay, now when you look the circle theorems up online, sometimes you see fancy names for things. I have tried to in the videos give you the thing possible so that you can use those effectively. Do not cut them any shorter. So for example, if your reason said angles in the same segment, you would not mark, because you need to say angles in the same segment are equal. To pause this video or look up the Maths Genie worksheet, you can do. I'm going to roll on to the next one. So here's a more typical question. Diagram given, ignore the 84, that's part working. It says work out the angle ADC. So it says ABCD on the circumference. That's 4 points. It gives you an angle and asks you to work out another angle. It asks you reasons. So what that means is year 10, 1 or 2 of the 2 or 3 marks are just for the reasons. And they go up to kind of 5 or 6 marks, these questions now. Half the marks are for getting the right answer, are for stating the right justifications. So, angle AOC is 168. That's at the center. So to work out angle ADC, which is the angle at D, I'm going to actually have to do 2 steps here. Some people look at AOC. That angle is opposite the angle at D. So the angle at 12. Because opposite angles in a quadrilateral add up to 180. But angle at O and the angle at D are not in a cyclic quadrilateral. It is not in the circumference of the circle. However, B and D are on a cyclic quadrilateral and are opposite. So what you do on this question is you use the 168 to work out 84 is the angle at B, because the angle at the center is twice the angle at circumference. Then D, opposite that, will be 96, because the pair of angles add up to 180. And you'll notice here, looking at the wording, but you state the answer and then the reason. And you've got to get used to writing those sentences out. Now, I'm not going to go through every single question on this book. I'm just going to go a few more. Here's a 4-mark question where you can see, look at the size of the angle, but you can see in brackets 4 different reasons have been given. It's really important you write your reasons down. Here's another one where it says work out the size of the angle. In this case, reasons weren't useful. Question 6 here, it says you must give your reasons for each stage of working. It's 4 marks. There are 1, 2, 3 different rules needed that you have to state. And you will find on your GCSE questions, there are many like that where the reason is just as important as the answer. So take, for example, 2 parts to it. A, which is finding BAD. Nice and easy, 1 rule. And then part B, ODC, where look, the person's had to use 3 different rules to get the 4 marks. So you've got to be aware, Year 10, that every question you do, you have to give reasons for. Even if I tell you to, write down your reasons. Get it now so you can remember for later on. The question sheet you're using at home on Corbett Maths does not say give the reasons on any question. Therefore, you're going to have to remember to do it every time. If it means repeating the same rule 5 times in a row, it's repetition to aid your memory. I hope this has helped. I'll attach the worksheets for you for Maths Genius so you can see those examples with explanations on there. Good luck with the topic.